Stick around for this video, and I'll give you 3 negotiation tips when you're buying or selling a house, all in 5 minutes or less. Hi, I'm Charles Lewis. I'm a realtor here in the Austin area. I help people all over this ever-expanding metro area buy and sell houses. If you take a quick minute and subscribe to my channel, be sure to click the notification bell. That way you'll get a notification every time I post a new video. Today I'm going to give you 3 negotiation tips when you're buying or selling a house, all in 5 minutes or less. The first thing to remember is that there's always going to be 3 prices: what the seller wants to get for it, what the buyer wants to pay for it, and what they both will agree to. The negotiation process is going to determine if that agreed upon price is closer to what the seller's asking price is or what the buyer's offer price is. The second thing to remember is that price is only one part of the overall deal. Let me give you an example. Let's say the buyer agrees to pay full list price, but the seller agrees to $20,000 in repairs and other closing costs. In that example, the seller did not get their selling price. What they actually got was $20,000 less than their list price. The first thing you need to know is that both the buyer and the seller are required to disclose certain things. But there are other things that they're not required to disclose. Each one of these items that they're not actually required to disclose could be called optional. And each one of these optional items could either hurt or help their negotiating position. Now, a good real estate agent is going to act like a filter between their clients and the other party, and will only disclose the optional items that will help their negotiating position. Let me give you an example. Let's say the seller is very anxious to sell the house because they're starting a job in another state. They've discussed the possibility of reducing the price, but have not signed the amendment instructing the real estate agent to lower the price. There's a buyer who has viewed the property and is very interested in it. So the buyer agent calls to begin the negotiation process. That seller's agent is not required to disclose that the seller is anxious to sell and that they've discussed the possibility of reducing the price. And if they did, it would hurt their negotiating position. Now, it's not always as clear as this, but I do suggest you always ask 2 questions. 1, am I required to disclose this? And 2, if I'm not required to disclose it, does it help or hurt my negotiating position? Negotiation is not about taking advantage of the other party. What it's about is finding common ground, maybe giving a little bit, but only enough to reach an agreement. There's often a lot of emotion involved in the home buying process, and oftentimes the amount that a buyer is willing to compromise will be in direct proportion to how badly they want the house. At the end of the day, if that buyer gives up a few $1,000s in closing costs or other concessions, but gets the house that they really want, haven't they really won? On the other hand, if the seller gives up a little bit, but is able to get the house sold and get on with the next stage of their life, haven't they also won? There are really no hard and fast rules. But if you remain too rigid in your willingness to compromise, you could actually be prolonging how long it takes you to reach your goals. Well, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions at all on buying or selling real estate anywhere in the greater Austin area, please don't hesitate to reach out. Click the link below to set up a conversation. If you prefer, you can shoot me a text or an email or call me directly. I'm here to help. The negotiation process is going to determine if that agreed each one of these optional items, each one of these things there are really no hard and fast rules. But if you remain too rigid in your willing, the first thing to remember is what is the buyer and seller willing or not willing, but a good real estate agent is like a filter. Well, turn it off.